It's the Mac Man Morning Show. 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 Sitting at home or you in your car. It's the Mac Man Morning Show. No matter if you get far. It's the Mac Man Morning Show. You better tune in quick or you might just miss. It's the Mac Man Morning Show. The best show this side of the sea. It's the Mac Man Morning Show. 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 Sitting at home and you eat. If your locks ain't right and your twist is on limp, you know. Get over to Keisha Studio. Specialized in locks, natural hair, and extensions. When your hair needs that special attention, make Keisha Studios your next decision. Located 3964 Goodman Road E, Suite 122 in South Haven, Mississippi. Call 901-650-9487 for your appointment at Keisha Studios. You know.
All right, Grand Rising. Good morning to everybody. This is the Magman Morning Show. I wanted to say that wait a minute, hold on one second. I had a difficulty and my guest should be on. I sent a wait a minute, hold on a second. I sent the link to our show. We had some difficulties, folks, so just please be a little bit patient with us. And we're going to continue. Wait a minute, one second, folks. Hold on. Oh my God, I tell you. Welcome to the Magman Morning Show, everybody. Let's see. All right, I'm on now. In the link, there is I don't know why I'm offline. I shouldn't be offline. Wait a minute. Hold on one second, folks. Okay. That. Wait a minute. Hold on. Jesus. All right. We're back. This is the Magman Morning Show. Listen, on the screen, you will see the link. Stephanie Wiederman, you should see the link there. I had something happen. I don't know quite what, but something happened to our communications here. Let's see if we can redo this. And if you can hear me, Stephanie, I'm trying to get everything rearranged here. We had a problem. Hold on a second, folks. We'll be right back in a couple seconds. Right back.
If your locks ain't right and your twist is on limp, you know. Get over to Keisha Studio. Specialized in locks, natural hair, and extensions. When your hair needs that special attention, make Keisha Studios your next decision. Located 3964 Goodman Road E, Suite 122 in South Haven, Mississippi. Call 901-650-9487 for your appointment at Keisha Studios. You know.
Okay, we're back on the Magman Morning Show. Grand Rise, great day to everybody. Um, we're trying to get everything together here. I am on the air. Listen, I don't know what happened. This is crazy. Well, welcome to the Magman Morning Show. Good morning, Grand Rising to everybody. We're having some terrible difficulties with YouTube, and I'm trying to make sure that we have the proper connections. Wait a minute, folks. Hold on. Okay, I know that you all are watching. Grand Rising, good day to each and every one of you. I am so sorry for the terrible delay. We have Stephanie Wiederman is coming on. Y'all see the link in the chat. Something happened with this YouTube. I don't know what they did. They did something, but y'all forgive me. This is not how the Macman Morning Show is to run, and I'm not going to have it. I'm not going to have it. I refuse to have it. Wait a minute. Let me see if I can do something. Hold on a second. folks. Okay, let me see. I don't want this. Oh, well, I don't know what happened. Stephanie Wiederman, if you can hear me, and if you can see me, I got on. I got on the air a link to links to our show. I want you to hit that link for me, and we'll be okay. Hold on a second. Oh Lord. Okay. Right. There we go. Oh Lord, help me, please stay. All right. I got it. I got it now. I think I do. Uh, welcome to the Mac Man Morning Show. This is James Mack. I am your host. We're experiencing something that I thought that we would not experience, and that is uh, we have a terrible link up. Okay, well that's good. Wait a minute. We have a terrible link up. If Stephanie Wiederman, if you can hear me, Stephanie, please. What is this? Jesus, that's not it. Wait a minute. Hold on. Oh Christ, Jesus. Um, this is terrible. Here it is. All right, I think I got it now. All right, we're here with Stephanie Wiederman is going to be coming on in a little bit. I've got some terrible difficulties with our system. We're okay on the broadcast end. It is the YouTube folks that are doing this. And okay, we got that part. Okay, I got that part. I'm up now. Stephanie, if you can hear me, please hit that link that I gave to you and come on in, please. Uh, wow, this is something. Okay, I don't need that. Let me do this one more time. Uh, wow, Jesus. Stephanie, please come in. Listen, folks. Okay, listen to me real quick. We have a situation here that y'all stand by for a second. Let me get this done. Oh God, help us. Here. Thing. We're coming back. We're here on the Magman Show. Welcome to the Wednesday edition of the Magman Morning Show. I am so sorry for all of this. This is not how we do things here at our show. Forgive us terribly because something happened on the YouTube end, and we're kind of mixed in a little bit. with something. Okay, Stephanie is here. Hey, Steph. Okay, just stand by for a second. 1 second, if you can. Let me take you out for a second. We got Stephanie Wiederman that's on, and she's here. I want to thank her for her patience and her understanding. I want to thank all of you all for being so great and holding off and understanding about the McMahon Morning Show. Listen, we're going to go out and we're going to come. We're going to everybody just stay where you are. We'll be right back after these messages. We're going to play a couple commercials and then we're going to bring our wonderful special guest, Stephanie Wiederman, and we're going to talk about her upcoming endeavors that she's doing. But y'all just stick around. This is the McMahon Morning Show. It is 9:20 on this a raggedy Wednesday that on the show, but it's going to be fine. Y'all just stand by. This is the McMahon Morning Show.
Hello, everyone. This is Melissa Shumpert with Malippi Fashion. Come out to our store location at 850 North Gloucester Street, Suite 3, Tupelo, Mississippi. We are here to pack your orders and see those smiling faces. And as always, you can shop online at malippifashion.com.
If your locks ain't right and your twist is on limp, you know. Get over to Keisha Studio. Specialized in locks, natural hair, and extensions. When your hair needs that special attention, make Keisha Studios your next decision. Located 3964 Goodman Road E, Suite 122 in South Haven, Mississippi. Call 901-650-9487 for your appointment at Keisha Studios. You know.
All right, we're back on the McMahon Morning Show. Right now it is 9:21, and if you had to be there at 9 o'clock, you know you already you're late. No, you ain't late, but you know you needed to get there at the proper time. I have my very, 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 very special guest that has stopped by here to see us, her old friends here at the McMahon Morning Show. I have Miss Stephanie Wiederman is here. I want to give her the time that's necessary. She has so many things that she's doing. She is running for a new position. She's going to tell us all about it and tell us what's going on around in the Southland. I commend her because we supported her in her endeavors for the trustee board to cover that seat. She not only covered that seat, but she helped them to guide uh, themselves back into hopefully the place where Thornton Township should be. But then I heard some things that I'm not pleased with. I heard some situations that are going on. And out of all of this fight and out of all that has happened, grand rising to everybody, I know that you all are confused just like I was this morning with all of the technical things, but that's broadcasting. You got to move, stick and move, as they say. I want to say good morning to uh, some of Stephanie's friends. I like to say good morning to all of you, Deacon Alvin Moore, everybody. But I wanted to say good morning to Dr. Nikita Cloud. I wanted to say good morning to Stephanie, her other best friend. That's Sherry Hatcher Britton, and all of you all that are here. I got so much that I want to say. Wait a minute, let me get this out of here, and I'll bring Stephanie in a minute. We got some election news, folks. On last night, the Democratic Party struck, I say, gold because in over 30 years, the city of Miami, Florida, has been ran by the Republicans and the MAGAs and everybody else that have been through there. But on last night, the people spoke and elected Ms. Higgins as the new mayor of Miami, Florida. Let's go over to Georgia. There was a special race for a state Senate seat held by the Republicans forever. And they got that seat too, that special election seat. I want to tell you this, there are 5 women that are running for United States Senator, and the majority are sisters. And okay, I see you, Diane Black. Thank you. Y'all found me. Y'all find me now, because it was one of those things. I want to thank all of you for your support. And this is why I say that this is the year of the woman, not just of anybody in particular or anything like that. It's going to take the women that have sat back, the women that have built coalitions, the women that have gotten out there and that were volunteers in the cold and the rain, made all the sandwiches, made the typed the letters and all the things that we know that they do. It's time for them. They got the leadership skills and abilities to do the things that they do. Yes, women. And you know something? It's a discouraging thing when you see men doing the slick things that they do, Diane Black. This is what they doing to out there that I heard, and I got good proof. I got the proof. I got the receipts. How can you say that you're for the Democrat Party or you're a part of it and turn around and you voted for Donald Trump, that thing up in D.C.? Now you got all of us fooled. You use the Democratic name to get yourself in a position, and you turn around and we found out once the Mac man found out, and I'm going to talk about it every day, little bitty bits and pieces. I'm going to let it out because you know something, we're not. I guess people think that people in the South, and they forget that I got northern roots, but I smell a skunk a mile away and a funky pig a mile away. And this is funky. In Mississippi, then they had people, Miss Wiedemann, if you're listening, I know you are, they had people, prominent Democrats, coming out for this guy that was a ripper. Now, wait a minute. Now, y'all mean to tell me that y'all didn't know that this man on last year alone voted for that thing up there? Democrat, look just like me. I ain't gonna tell you who he is yet. Y'all know who I. If you got any brains, y'all know where I'm going. He should not even be on the Democratic ballot. Why? You're a Republican. Why? Your values are that of the orange man. Why? He put this state and this country in a peril, lying, doing all kinds of things, homicides, and unaliving people in the water and blowing up their boats and all kinds of things. War crimes, treason, everything, liar, SA, and everything. He's everything. He's terrible. And you got us fooled trying to vote for this man to keep that woman in the office. You know good and well, they know good and well they already put all of it, part of it out. But on Thursday's show, we're going to have our special guest will be Priscilla Williams Teal. She's going to be on. She's going to be the next U.S. Senator from the state of Mississippi. Yeah, she's going to be the next one. And there's some other people that are coming on. I'm going to give some programming notes and everything. But Priscilla Williams Teal is coming on the Magman Morning Show, and we're going to talk about this. We better let them know now. See, we're not taking any wooden nickels. Okay, we're not going for this foolishness that they have out now. We're not going for it. And Priscilla Williams Teal will be here, and we're gonna talk about it, and we're gonna get it out. It's going on the Magman Morning Show. She's coming on, and she's no stranger here. We're friends, and that's our next senator. Because see, they playing garbage and jive and bull crap and stuff that's going on. Hey, Diane, how you doing? Wait a minute, let me take this down. Right, where was that? That was a comment. Okay, I'm gonna take that down so y'all can see. Yeah, she'll be on December 11th. That's on Thursday. She will be on the Magman Morning Show, and everything will be up to par. And we're gonna talk about this. See, I knew that the dirty tricks were happening. hmm I knew what they were up to and what they were doing. See, Diane, they did you wrong. Then they got mad at me when I told about the $600,000 that the Democratic Party sent to the state of Mississippi. They got mad at me. Oh, you shouldn't have said that. You don't tell me what to say. I'm a nonpartisan broadcaster. If you Democrat or Republican, you're a crook, you're a crook. Oh, yeah, they held the money back. And then they put their money on a horse. I'll put it this way. They put their money on a horse, and now look at what you got. I'm glad they got to see. It's time to tighten up the ship, Democrats, in Mississippi and everywhere else. We got these leading women that are standing up and saying, who will go for us? just like Stephanie. Stephanie's been in the fight. She's been there. I'm going to bring her up, and I'm going to let her do her own thing and talk and tell y'all what's going on and everything. I'm so glad to have her here with us on the Magman Morning Show. She didn't have to come, but she did. And I'm just so grateful to her for being here. That is our special guest. That's Miss Stephanie Wiederman. She's going to be coming in just a little bit, and I'm going to bring her up. But then and this thing kind of got me this morning a little bit. So I'll be all right. Ain't no problem. I'm going to see what this is. And y'all just be patient. We got Stephanie. She's coming on, and we're going to talk politics. We're going to talk about what's going on in the Southland and everything. Stephanie's our friend. We support her. I endorse her for what she's getting ready to do. She's going to tell us everything. And we're going to come back in a couple seconds. I'm going to just do another commercial, and we'll be back in a little bit. Wait a minute. Let me make sure I got it lined up. See, because I had all this stuff lined up already, and it was discombobulated. But we'll be right back with Stephanie Wiederman.
I am Pam Ghostin, owner and creator of Candle Desserts Lounge, Mississippi's finest dessert and drink candles that are hand poured right here in DeSoto County. Our motto is dessert and drinks, 0 calories. We strive to create a vivid imagination of the delicious gourmet desserts and tropical drinks by offering a sweet and zesty vibe with an experience that ignites both your taste buds and sense of creativity. We also do candle making parties, whether it's for a private party, birthdays, anniversary, bachelor or bachelorette parties, business team building. We can do a party for any occasion. For more information, call 662-460-5035. Also check out our website at candledessertlounge.bigcartel.com. If you're looking for those one-of-a-kind gifts, our candles are perfect for you.
Tune in to the Macman Morning Show. Hold up. Man, this is one of the hottest talk radio shows this side of the Mississippi. We're talking about the Macman Morning Show, Mondays through Friday from 9 a.m. to 10:20 a.m. Man, get you some on WKRA 92.7 FM. Man, beat me there. Don't meet me there.
I am happy and I am rejoicing to have our dear friend, a dear friend of this show when we started out, and the battles that have been fought. And sometimes when you're on the front line, you get the most abuse sometimes. And I can say this about our friend Stephanie Wiederman, that when it all needed to come out, when the things needed to happen, she made them happen. When the whistleblower had to be the whistleblower, she was the one that had to bring forth the original documents of mismanagement and of the things, the diabolical things in Thornton Township that's been going on. Oh, yeah, we know Tiffany Henyard, and then we know the aftermath of what was happening. And Sherry Britton is here. Hey, Sherry. And Sherry's here. And that's our special correspondent, Sherry Hatcher Britton, up in Dalton and in the Southland, our dearest friend that kept us. If it wasn't for Stephanie and if it wasn't for Sherry, first of all, let me tell you, I wouldn't know Stephanie. I wouldn't know Dr. Nikita or the mayor of Dalton, Jason House, or any of these wonderful people. I wouldn't know any of them. I wouldn't have known any of them. And Sherry has been a dear friend, and then she has been a dear friend to our special guest, Stephanie Wiederman, as I was saying before, that her introduction, I must say that she's a warrior and a fighter, and she's in the mix. And it makes no difference about color or anything like that. If you rotten, you just rotten, and she knows rotten when she sees it. There's some things going on in Thornton Township that you need to know, and we got Stephanie here. Good morning, Stephanie. You can unmute your mic. I know I've been sending you all over the country, but welcome to our special guest once again on the Macman Morning Show, our dear friend, Miss Stephanie Wiederman. Hey, Stephanie, how are you?
Good morning. I'm well. How are you?
Good. We ain't forgot about you, and I've been talking about you and all of the shenanigans that's been going on since the victory of Thornton Township and the Southland with Dalton and everything. Um, you're getting ready. Last time we really, I mean, well, we had you on the show. You were you accepted the challenge to step up to the Thornton Township Board as a trustee,
Hmm.
and you were successful in your endeavor. You know, you our friend. We were hooting and hollering for you and everything, and you got in there. When you got in there and you were helping to make the adjustments for the new supervisor to come in, some things had happened. And we're
Hmm.
going to talk about what happened and then leading up to what you're getting ready to do now. So, ladies and gentlemen, my very special guest is Stephanie Wiederman. Okay, Stephanie, tell us what happened after your victory and your work that you've done. Come on, give it to us.
Well, being in the seat obviously was interesting because the administration was, still being run by by Henyard. So, those few months were trying. But my goal was to just, kind of get things in place so that when the new board came in, they could just kind of hit the ground running. And that didn't prove to be to be very easy. It wasn't easy to work with the old board, and the new board being new, it wasn't much to kind of gauge where they wanted things to be. So, that just kind of ended with me doing the best I can. Everything was in place. The new board was sworn in, and honestly, it just kind of went in a way that I didn't imagine from there. Um,
Wow. Wow. What
yeah.
happened, Steph? What happened?
Um, I think that the current leadership just the conversations that took place that made me believe in this leadership. Um, when it came time for their actions to match their words, it wasn't lining up. And I felt like what I was told was not what was happening, and what was happening was not what I was in support of.
Oh, they
Um,
lied to you. That's what they. I'll just
they
throw
lied
it
to
out there.
everybody, honestly. I think we
Okay.
a good group of us anticipated this to be something other than what it has played out to be, unfortunately. So I had to make a choice, and my choice was, as always, the residents. So
Right.
I stepped away. I took a minute to regroup and to figure out what the right path was here to support the communities, and that led me to running for the Thornton Township committee person seat in
Now,
March. Yep.
now we're gonna talk about this seat too, but I'm gonna get into a little bit deep. See, you being nice to these people,
Mhm.
and there's some turncoats and some people that it seems to me. This is my assessment that they've forgotten about the war that was just fought and those soldiers that were put in place or those people that were put in place for the people. It seems like they got another agenda. Would you agree or disagree with that? Straighten me out.
No, I would agree with you. Yeah, I would agree. I don't know if they forgot about the people that were in the fight, or they just aren't interested. I think that there's a very much it's not our fight, that time is over approach, but it's over for them because they're in the seats they wanted. But the residents still have a mistrust. The residents still have unanswered questions. The residents
Right.
still, that need is still there. And shutting the residents out is not fulfilling that need. It's not healing those wounds that were there. It's not nurturing people. It was a very abrasive approach. Um
Hmm.
and I don't think that the residents deserve that. I think they deserve answers, even if it takes extra time and extra money, and I think that they deserve to be addressed. And they deserve transparency, they deserve open books, they deserve to be able to come in and see what they want with out this long drawn out FOIA process. I mean,
Hmm.
we've been drugged through the mud already. We don't want to do it again. They just want answers, and I just want to support them in that.
Well, let me say this. I'm gonna do it again. You see, because I take very seriously the people of the Southland because I grew up in the Southland and Ninth Ward, and I kind of, that's my home. And I was just shocked. Now I'm gonna take it further. I saw the first meeting, and you were there assisting everybody and so forth and so on, and making sure the new trustee got in and the new trustees that were there and the present ones that you were working with came in and they got somebody that replaced you. Of course, you went to another position. What happened? I just want to know. You know, I'm gonna ask. I just want to know
Mhm.
because I think that the people need to know what happened uh, in there with the new the new supervisor and peoples and stuff. Tell me about what happened, what they did to you.
That made me quit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they didn't really do anything specifically. You know, the supervisor offered me a job, which I did accept. I was there for roughly 2-ish weeks before I decided to turn in my letter of resignation, and it was again nothing that they did to me. It was just I don't even know a feeling. It really boiled down to the salary ordinance and the way that that was handled. Now I know what the law is around, voting on the salary. It's 180 days before the beginning of the next term. It has to be voted on. So that would have put us at
Mm-hmm.
November of 2024. It would have had to have been voted on for the 2025 term. And as you know, the seat, Jerry Jones had stepped down at that point. I wasn't appointed until January. So in November, there wasn't even enough members to push anything through. So nothing was being voted on. So the deadline was missed to change the salary ordinance. So in my head, the assumption was that it would stay the same as what it was currently voted on and that the new board would vote to change it for the next term. In that two
Okay.
weeks that I was there, I found out that that was not the case. The salary ordinance, honestly, I don't know what the current ordinance that sits is. The last voted one was the one that should have dropped the supervisor's salary back down to 57,000. Um,
Okay.
when I found out that that didn't happen and that there was no public vote that took place, let me be clear that I do not care what this board and the supervisor pay themselves. If it was, 100,000, if it was 1 million, I'm indifferent about the amount. My issue was that there was no public vote and it's not our money to make the decisions with. I think that the residents deserve to see the process. They deserve to know upfront and honestly what the salaries were going to be. Um, I feel like they deserved more. And because that wasn't the way that they handled that, I had to make a choice, like I said, for me, for my reputation, for what I've built, and for what the residents want to see in our leadership. And I
Right.
am not sure that feeling like they're not a part of the process and that they're not being told the truth is not something that they would want to see in their leadership or in me.
Right.
So it was a Thursday that I figured out that he was keeping the salary that the previous supervisor had, and on Saturday I turned in my letter of resignation, not only from the township but from the Democratic organization, because obviously he runs that too. And
Wow.
if I don't align
Well,
with you here, I'm not likely to align with you here.
oh, well, that's okay. But then let me say this too, because I get on the Democrats as well as I get on them MAGA people and so forth and so on. Here we have, folks, and I'm just going to line this up right quick. We have the Democratic committeeman, supervisor, state rep, and I don't know,
State
folk,
senator.
but yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Forgive me for the title. All them titles and jobs and monies and things that he have, and then you get there knowing. I'm just going to say this that things just didn't they flipped when he got in there and you saw what was happening and you just said the hell I mean not the hell with it but then almost it's not what you fought for um and I want you to come on out there with me and I know and thank you to our to Sherry. I got some stuff here she sent me because she wanted me to make sure that the sisters was real with it. You know, them are your partners right there on the screen. And
They
Dr.
are.
Nikita, I know you listening in the cut, but I got Stephanie here. And I just wanted to say that when I saw the meeting, Stephanie, when I saw the procedure and I saw what was going on, I even saw some some trustees that we helped to get in there with our with here on the McMahon Morning Show and everywhere, all the way from here where we were supporting, and the people supported and found out that they were slacking too, and all of a sudden they got a different kind of epiphany. Go on and talk about it, because it got to be said. You know, these are people that we supported, and you know who I'm talking about. You can mention them if you want to. I ain't got no fear of it, but I wanted to know, how do you feel about those people that we helped, and the people that y'all, you, Sherry, and everybody gathered together to help, and it seemed like they betrayed you. Come on with it now, Stephanie. You got the mic.
Well, so I don't know that I necessarily feel like it's betrayal. I think that I am a very open-minded person, and trying to understand, people's individual scenarios, I think is a quality that's needed in strong leadership. Nobody wants to be a bully and back people into corners, and you have to view things this way or you have to feel this way. Yes, there are people on that board that we collectively worked with and for. And I would be lying to say that I'm disappointed, that I'm not disappointed in the way they have gone silent, I suppose. However, um, I am in no way, shape, or form comparing this administration to the last administration. I
Well,
would
I know
never.
that though, but now you being too nice to the
Well, no, no,
folks.
no.
I'm
I'm
not
getting
saying,
there.
you know
I'm
me,
getting there.
that's
I have
Jay.
had
Okay,
discussions
I
with
got you. All right, Stephanie, I'm with
specifically,
you.
I
Go
have
ahead,
had
go ahead.
discussions with one of these board members where I was just trying to find a middle ground. Like, how do we approach this with you guys? Because what the residents are doing right now isn't working. And not very long ago, you were on this side with us, and we were we were fighting this battle together. You wanted answers too. You wanted somebody to acknowledge you. How should we approach this to find a middle ground? And that conversation really didn't lead anywhere. Ultimately, I think that I think that there's a mix of them being patient in the learning curve, and them not wanting to seem, because it's a tough battle when, we just came off of what we came off, and now we feel like we're going down not the same but a similar road, and that similar road could make you, wonder, is it us? Do we need to reevaluate us, or is it really these people? And I think for at least one or two of those board members, that may be where they're at right now. I think that the residents are upset, and they have every right to be. I would never take that away from them. I do think that they're, for the sake of the fact that we all live in these communities together, and regardless of how any of these elections play out or how any of these disagreements go, we're all still in the same community. We all still have to
Yeah,
work together on some level to be able to push us forward. Maybe not, the level that we're at right now, but some level. So I
right.
I do think that there needs to be some patience and some grace that go along with these things, but that's to no way say that people shouldn't be upset, because yes, some of these people sitting on the board were very vocal when those things were going on before. um, and to not publicly give the residents the answers they're asking for when they were the very ones searching for answers is not fair. If nothing's going on, if there's nothing tied, if then just answer. Don't make people jump through hoops. Just give them the answers. I agree. I don't think that their approach with this administration has been as good as what they've done with the other administration. But I mean, how do we change that? What do we do?
Well, we'll find out. Listen, we're gonna take a real quick break, real quick, and we're gonna come back with Stephanie and I. You know already, the Mac Man got some more questions and everything. Cause I one thing I commend. This is one of several things I commend you for, Stephanie. As we go to this quick break, for your peacemaking abilities and your kindness, even in the midst of craziness. And we'll talk about that a little bit later. But uh, I wanted to let you know that there's some things that I'm concerned about and some things that I wanted to talk about. And I'm not going to put you on the spot or anything, never have done. But I got some questions, and on the screen, if you're from the Southland and you want to chime in, or you got a question, or you got a greeting, I don't have no mess here. You already know how the Magman Morning Show runs here. We want you to, if you got a question or something, come on and you can ask Stephanie directly. We'll guide you in. Just follow the prompts. You'll look at the on the screen, tap that link, and follow the prompts, and I'll bring you in. We got Stephanie Wiederman here, our dear friend, and always will be a warrior to her heart, just a gentle warrior. She'll fight you, and you don't know what's happening. She'll battle, and you think she don't have it, but she'll come out with her ammunition. Y'all stand by. Y'all be good. Be here. I mean, but just stand by for 1 second. We'll be right back. This is the MacMan Morning Show. We're looking at 9:50. And if you have to be there at 10 o'clock, you got 10 minutes, but y'all go on ahead and do what you got to do. We'll be right back after these messages. Stand by, Steph.
If your locks ain't right and your twist is on limp, you know, get over the. If your locks ain't right and your If your locks ain't right and your twist is on limp, you know, get over to Keisha Studio. Specialized in locks, natural hair, and extensions. When your hair needs that special attention, make Keisha Studios your next decision. Located 3964 Goodman Road E, Suite 122 in South Haven, Mississippi. Call 901-650-9487 for your appointment at Keisha Studios. You know.
Hello, everyone. This is Melissa Schumpert with Malipi Fashion. Come out to our store location at 850 North Gloucester Street, Suite 3, Tupelo, Mississippi. We are here to pack your orders and see those smiling faces. And as always, you can shop online at malipifashion.com.
Tune in to the MacMan Morning Show. Hold up. Man, this is one of the hottest talk radio shows this side of the Mississippi. We're talking about the MacMan Morning Show, Mondays through Friday from 9 a.m. to 10:20 a.m. Man, get you some on WKRA 92.7 FM. Man, beat me there. Don't meet me there.
And we're back on the MacMan Morning Show. I have my very special guest, Stephanie Wiederman, is here. And I wanted to just drop this. I see all of y'all's messages and everything, and they're you chomping at the bit or what have you. Well, I ask and I invite you that if you'd like to come on and if you have a question or something that you like to ask Stephanie, I'm sure she will respond to, and you can hit the link and come in if you like to. If you like to stay in the bushes, that's fine too. We thank all of you for being here. Let me just drop a programming note. This is the time, as you know, the new year is going to be swinging in and coming in, and primaries, we're in full swing. And those candidates that we're supporting all over the country, including Stephanie, we're going to be mentioning, and we're going to be getting together. Let me also say that Mac Media 3 Productions is coming to the Southland with, and I'm going to get this announcement out a little bit later. We got some planning that we have to do. we're bringing Priscilla Williams Teal, who is the candidate for the U.S. Senate here in the great state of Mississippi, and getting ready to make history. A lot of you all know the Till story, the Emmett Till story. This is Emmett Till's cousin that's running for U.S. Senate in the state of Mississippi. Now, let me tell you something, brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen. This is the year of the Democratic woman, from Jasmine Crockett all the way to Kentucky to knock off Mitch McConnell's seat. We have an opportunity to make history, not just in our country, yes, even in the Southland. And like I said to you before, and I'll say again, Stephanie has our wholehearted support, always had it, always been a friend of our show, and very candid and come with the truth. She never comes with no garbage or anything like that. She doesn't try to go out and hurt nobody, but she's a bridge builder. And that's a wonderful thing to have and a wonderful person to have in your surroundings. Now, Steph, I'm going to say some things because Sherry sent me so many things, and I told her that I would. Uh, I would put it out there, but you see your gang there, don't you, Stephanie? You see them?
I do.
Them your partners there. You know, Sherry made sure she said you put the girls on, so I had to put the Warriors on there. There's your assessor, and there's Doctor Nikita, the great doctor, and there's Sherry Britton in the back right there. That's our wonderful correspondent there, and our dear friend, of course. And to bring back some memories, you remember this? Do you? I know you remember that. Them were the old days, as I would say now. When
Yeah, those were great days.
with Clean House 2025, you were right there, Stephanie. From Dalton on through all of Thornton Township, you worked for a wonderful supervisor uh, for Frank, and you were there until the day that he left. And your history. Let's talk about a little bit before I dive into some other stuff. Let's talk about your times and the times that you had and the joy that you had helping the citizens of Thornton Township and how you feel about them. Why don't you talk about your residents and the people that you're getting ready to represent in that great seat of committee person woman? Go ahead.
Well, everybody already knows that I think the residents in Thornton Township are the best. Um, I grew up here. I've been in Thornton Township, most of my life. Um, these, are my neighbors, my friends. And I know, when the whole thing started with Tiffany and, the media almost made it seem like, we were a certain kind of people that, you know, weren't able to provide for ourselves, but that's not what we live in at all. We have amazing people here that deserve, the best services and, all the resources that we can bring back here. That's why, making sure everybody pays attention to these elections from the state level down. Know who you're putting in these seats, because that makes a difference in what kind of resources we get back to our communities. And you don't want people in these seats that are gonna, play politics and hold resources over your head to make sure that things go the way they want. We want to make sure that, our leadership really reflects what we want to see in our communities. So I um I know that residents are still paying attention. I've been, getting
Oh yeah,
these petitions done was not an easy task. It was a lot of door knocking. I spoke to a lot of residents. It's not as loud as when Tiffany was in office, but people are still watching.
oh
So
yeah.
that is encouraging to me. I want the residents to stay engaged, as the committee person. That's, obviously one of my top priorities is voter engagement. Um, our voting has dropped dramatically over the last 15 years. We were
Yes.
in the early 2000s, we're voting at a 70% rate. We're barely making 13 now. So, I mean, we're talking
Wow.
about a huge drop. And I know some of that is generational. In the early 2000s, we still had a lot of people who had to fight for the right to vote. They
That's a
valued that.
big
They
drop
came
though.
out and vote because they
Yeah.
valued it. Whereas this generation, it's a born given right. They don't value it the way people did then. So I think that there's just got to be a new way to get voter engagement, because numbers speak, and when residents come together to say what they want, we see what the power we have. We saw what we did when we weren't happy with what was happening in Dalton, when we weren't happy
That's
what was
right.
happening in Thornton Township. When we all came together, people paid attention, things started to change. So we need to keep that same approach. Residents need to stay engaged. Numbers talk. They people have to come out. It's very important, and I think our residents are engaged. I mean, Dalton is unbelievably engaged. So my goal, is to take that same energy and put it into these other communities and get everybody engaged, because we have 17 amazing communities here
You
with,
sure do.
hardworking people who have great opinions and, should participate. So that's my goal for our communities.
Well, I was going to ask you, and you practically answered it. The committee person, or they use a committee man because it was a band of men at
I
one
would be the
time.
first woman in Thornton Township to win this seat.
Oh,
I would
see,
be.
you get ready to make history. See, you get ready to make history, and they know that they're. And I let me say this about the community and about Thornton Township and about you. You have paid your dues. You've been there well over 25 years of your life, and you put your whole heart into it. You raise your family, and you know your friends. You got a great circle of people that are around you and everything, and you're for the people, and you were really unselfish. Now, as they say, ain't no elephant in the room because we don't like them elephants no way. I like them. They peaceful creatures, but then the people that took them as a mascot, I don't dig them right about now. And as people don't know, you're white.
I am.
You're a
I
white
am.
woman. And they said, wait a minute now, back man. They said, that's that, but that's the only one that we gonna support it. Well, not like that though. It's not. But then you care for a community. The majority of the people don't look like you, and you've seen your community change, even whether they call it white flight or whatever. And there's no rate they are. You know where we stand. At are you a sister? They don't know. Y'all don't know that Stephanie is a sister. She's a sister, and I had to throw that one in. Your track record. You're not just there as a figurehead. Your track record speaks for itself. The people support you and
They do.
stand with you. And they didn't say, well, she's white or whatever, or she's this, and let's get rid of that myth there. It's going to take all of us of like minds and like hearts to make that change, the change that we need to make in this country. Now, let me ask you this, and I'm going to throw this at you. Um, what can what needs to be done, and what can the Magman Morning Show do for you in your quest? We're here, and there are several people like your dear friends Kiana Belcher, who's going to be the next my new commissioner. That's my old district when I used to live there, but I got love for the fifth district, and we have Meredith Hammer, who's going
Hmm.
to the bench. Yes, she's going to the bench and speaks well highly of you. You got a
Yep.
lot of people, Dr. Nikita, and especially I must take my hat off to Sherry Hatchett Britton, because if
Absolutely.
it wasn't for Sherry, I'm gonna say it
None of
again
this
for
would have
those
been possible.
none. And I mean, she reached out. I reached out to her. She said, "Who's this strange man?" And this show and stuff. And she gave me an opportunity to get into the door to really allow the Magman Morning Show on a level that brought us to a level where people really came. We brought Kiana here. I mean, and all I invited everybody that responded from the Southland, your your broadcasts are just wonderfully historic here because of the connections that you have. And once again, let me just say this now and blow your horn now. Um, let me say this. What can we do as your friends, as your supporters? What do you need us to do? And what are you asking your wonderful citizens that you have to get their vote? Of course, I believe you're going to get it. Uh, Tell us what we can do. But before you tell us what we can do, how is that challenge going? You have a challenge with the current committee person. How is that going? You got any info on that in the update, and then you can take that latter part, that first part
I
if you
do.
don't
I
mind.
do. Let me just start by saying for this seat specifically, I think a lot of people, just associate this committee person seat with the township because it says Thornton Township. However, they are separate seats. One has nothing to do with the other. This committee person seat is purely political. It is the seat that would run the Democratic organization, which of course gives endorsements for local elected officials. It gives me a say in some county pieces as the committee person that would have the weighted vote. So it's important. It's an important seat to make sure that our leadership ensures what our residents want to see. It doesn't directly correlate to Thornton Township. I would have nothing to do with that board and the supervisor. I just want to make that clear before we go. But my advantage to this is that I've been a part of building this organization already. I started in this in 2000, 2003, and
Mm-hmm.
although the organization was 5 7 years in already, it was still groundwork. We still had a couple people that ran against us, and that
Mm-hmm.
the end of Frank's career, it obviously wasn't like that, but we had to build to that. So
Right.
I started by knocking on doors. That's how I learned how to get good petitions. We just brought up the objections. Well, there were objections
Mhm.
filed against my petitions by Anthony McCaskill, who is the husband of,
God help us.
right,
Don't
the
even.
current commissioner who
Miss Thing
Kiana is running
that's
against.
getting ready
So,
to go. We need to get rid of her and
right.
all them McCaskills. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry,
So,
I didn't mean to go there. But
right. So, we talk about objections. Well, if you do it right, then there's nothing to be worried about. I only turned in 965 signatures. We needed a minimum of 754. We couldn't turn in 12. It was a maximum of 1209.
hmm
Um, I turned in 965, which is relatively close to the minimum, but I knew they were good because I did the work. I made sure I did it
right.
right. So, they did challenge me. I beat that challenge. My name is officially on the ballot.
All
Um,
right. All right.
so that part is over with. But yes, there is still a challenge, which I am watching closely. But the challenge is headed by somebody else that filed the objection. I'm absolutely in support of the objection.
Okay, so what
There
is the
was a
objection?
hearing
I'm sorry.
yesterday, and right now they have his signatures down to 787 with 43 still in question, which will be seen next week on Tuesday. So it's close. It's very close. But he turned in almost 1,300 signatures. The
hmm
fact that you're even at risk of being kicked off just shows how unorganized the organization is currently being run.
Well, when you don't have the leader of the, or I'm gonna say this in Democratic politics, it's the one that turns out the votes. It's the one that does the grunt work. It's a lot of work, not just the time. It's a lot behind it because living in and in the in the election atmosphere that we have now, it is more serious now than ever that the Democratic Party gets their stuff together. This internal stuff, we got something going down here that someone wanted us to, and they don't know it yet, but then they hated for me to get this information because I know all of the legislators listen to me on the air. They may not support me, but they try to get the dirt. They're trying what they're trying to do here. We got a leading Democrat that's trying to get us to vote for a Republican that voted for that orange fella and all of his diabolical stuff that he's doing, and he disguised himself as a Republican. I know y'all ain't got that kind of problem where you're at right now. I heard of it, but how? I mean, how do you juggle this political position and keeping in your mind and in your heart that you have to deal with these political people and your constituents? How do you separate the two? Uh,
Um,
committee woman, committee woman already.
Actually, honestly, I don't really. It's not hard for me because I don't owe anybody anything, so it's easy for me to put the residents first. I think a lot of
Oh, okay.
time politicians get involved in these situations where they want to win so bad, or they want what they want so bad that they, you know, make promises. Some might call it deals. I
Hmm.
call it
Well, it's a
promises.
part of governing. You got to make
Right.
deals.
But I'm not really willing to do that. I understand that the seat as committee person is about relationships and
Right.
building bridges, and I'm good at that. I have great relationships with everybody that I would be working with.
Okay.
But I'm also strong enough to say I'm not sacrificing who I am or what my residents want to see at the cost of getting what I want. I've been Although I'm not a politician and I've never been in these seats, I've been around these people since I was 21 years old.
So
And it
you
hasn't
earned your
changed me thus
stripes.
far.
You earned your stripes because, okay, I started out in politics as a junior precinct captain. My job was to help that precinct captain get the votes.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what it was all about. You had to
Mm-hmm.
go out there and the one that does the footwork. See, because a lot of these politicians don't want to get out and go knock on the door. And I found out, Stephanie, that the most effective way of getting your message out to people is one, it'll go word of mouth. But if you go and knock on Miss Jones's door, just an example, and good evening, how are you? Election time is coming, et cetera, whatever your spiel is, and people seem like they appreciated the personal touch
Mm-hmm.
versus the touch of not even being able to talk to you. I've heard some horror stories about uh, certain people, the supervisor or whatever the case may be, not even being accessible to people. People couldn't say anything. It was like a rubber stamp.
Mm-hmm.
No discussion, even from our trustees that we trusted in those seats have said nothing. Ruffle the paper, sign, get your check. I guess I don't know how the process works, but we gone. We ain't trying to hear you and nothing like this, and we closing you out of the budget sessions and things like that. Even though these things are happening and people are governing like they want to, still and all, people look to you as their party leader or the person that's leading the banner for the Democrats. What do you do? How do you explain to your constituents the buffoonery of some things that are buffoonery, the foolishness that's going on? How do you put that in there to get them to still support the Democratic Party? Go ahead.
Um, the best advice I could give is honestly vote smart and don't quit. Keep going to the meetings, keep asking questions, keep applying pressure. I mean, they said that when they were running. Hold us
Hmm.
accountable. We'll do that. Hold them accountable. Continue to ask the questions. Continue to, want the responses. Continue to show up to meetings and send the FOIAs if that's what is being required. We got to do what we got to do, but don't give up. That would be my
Hmm.
my suggestion, because unfortunately what we've learned with, the last administration is that once they're in these seats, they're in these seats. We've got 4 years to figure this out
Yeah,
with the people that are currently sitting there. So I know nobody wants to be at war like that again for 4 years. So
I
just
know that.
just keep applying pressure. Something's gonna
Hmm.
give. I don't know what it is, but something's gonna give. Giving
Yeah.
up isn't gonna fix anything though.
Wow. My guest is Stephanie Wiederman, and I got her for the last couple of minutes here. I'm going to savor these minutes. I'm not even, those of you that are waiting on the commercial, we're not going to play any right now. We're going to give Miss Stephanie her opportunity to talk to you and to talk to the world and the general. Believe it or not, there are a lot of people that are interested in what's going on in Dalton. Before I go to my to what I was going to say, I there's a question that our dear friend Sherry has, and she says, and maybe you can help her out with this, and maybe this will give some insight to your constituents. It says that she says that she's surprised that Dalton hadn't received any funds yet, and she wonders why. Committee woman, can you help your constituent understand that part of what's going on?
Yeah. We all know that there was money allocated at a state level for the village. Um, I I can't say specifically why that money hasn't been released. I do know that it would be released by, the Senate. So I would think that it would be an easy, phone call to try and
Wait a
figure.
minute, hold on. All right, Stephanie. Now you've been nice to these folks. It's some okay. I'm gonna throw it out here. You ain't got to say it. I'm gonna say it. Now I heard, and this was alleged to me by my sources, that the supervisor being on the Senate and being in the mix, he's like a minority leader. Majority is he majority leader in the Senate or assistant to him or something
Mm-hmm.
like that? Okay, he's got ties to this money.
Yep.
And I heard, this is just me, I don't know whether you heard it or not, and I'm just saying this is alleged, that he said that he would hold back certain funds from certain municipalities if they didn't support him. That's under the table. You know how they had them backroom deals and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You don't
Yep.
support me, I ain't gonna give you this money. Have you heard anything like that? You ain't got to say he doing it now, but this is on some good. I got good information.
Mhm.
Help me out, Stephanie. I ain't trying to
I
put no
I would
garbage
not
out
lie to
there.
you. You know I would not. I
Come
have
on
gotten
with
the
it.
same info. Absolutely.
Hmm.
And
It's the
that is
Magman
that
Morning
is
Show.
the way
We keep.
the money moves. I can't say,
Hmm.
whether that is true or not. I wasn't a part of those conversations. But
Hmm.
I do know that I would think that, especially for a place like, let's say, specifically Dalton or even Harvey, who we
God
know
help
is in
us.
a financial crisis, I would think for
Hmm.
a senator who's from here,
Come
supposedly
on.
he lives in Harvey. You
Say these.
grew up in this community. You went to these schools.
Hmm.
These residents are the same residents that I consider my neighbors because my roots are from here. And one would
Yeah.
assume you feel the same way. If I was in that seat, I would be fighting like hell to get that money released for these residents. And I do
Okay.
not see that happening.
All right. I'm going. I got you now. So I'll open up the door. My thing is this: the same dirty tricks that are happening around about us, they're still going on. If I got control of your money of any kind and knowing that you bankrupt, hey, look here, James, I need you to do this. Is why I don't take no wood nickels, and that's why I don't. The corporations, they can't come after me, and I'm not bought. And I know how you feel when you're not bought. It's really hard for them to get under your skin because they saying, well, what is the vice? Some people will take you to parties just to see how you would act or what you would do so that they can use it against you. That's a horse of another color. My thing is this, and I've heard this, and it disgusted me when I heard it. Here you are, you had for one, they had you on the team, you were there. Two, they wouldn't have never been able to accomplish what has been accomplished if it wasn't for Sherry and yourself and some other people that were involved. They didn't even have the courage to come on television. The first interview that I saw about what was going on in Thornton Township. Oh, did you go somewhere, Stephanie? Come back if you can, please. I lost her. Come back, Stephanie. Wait a minute. Let me check this out. Hold on a second. Stephanie, come back if you can. Come back in. Use that same link and come back. I don't know what. See, when you get there, she go. Wait a minute. Hold on a second, Steph. I
Yeah, I
got
got
you.
kicked
You
off.
there,
I'm sorry.
Stephanie? Okay,
I'm
you
here.
good. Okay, that's good. I thought that the gremlins got you. All
No,
right, I'm gonna
I
set
got
this.
kicked out for 1 second. I'm back.
Oh, you all right? You back? But now this is what I'm saying. Now they making these deals. Now that's some low down stuff. When you don't have to do that. Now with all the corruption that's going on and all the things that are happening, it is not Tiffany this time. It's the smooth operators. It's the ones that you don't hear about that don't holler
Yep.
and don't hoot and holler out there
Hmm.
that's doing these deals. Here, this man is rich. They say he played some kind of sports. I ain't gonna say what it is. I ain't trying to up his career or nothing or his retirement. You got these resources. You're in the Senate. You're the majority leader, or whatever you got leadership ability. You know where the money's going all over the state of Illinois, all over. You know what's going on. Nothing's behind you, and you using this as a tactic. Is it working? Are those leaders that quote unquote were threatened? Are they listening, or what are they saying? Are they treating you any different? Because you know all of them. So
No,
tell us
no,
how
no,
the
no.
reaction is.
Actually, everybody treats me great. I have no complaints about the way I have been treated as far as my want to run for this seat.
Hmm.
However, I will say that
However,
that doesn't take away my feeling in um not understanding why these elected officials won't hold each other accountable, because that definitely is a pattern I see, like you said about, money being withheld. Well, I've had 8 or 9 conversations with 8 or 9 different people about this. And of course, if you spoke up, it would stop. I have no other solution for you, because me speaking up on your issues aren't going to fix them. But you guys speaking up on your issues, well, that looks very different now.
Mhm.
But they have to hold each other accountable. I
They
can
got to
point it
speak
out all
up.
I want, but if they don't hold each other accountable, you know, it just looks like I'm up here, causing a ruckus. I think that I found a good balance of knowing how to maintain my relationships while still standing strong on what I believe. I think that the people I've worked with politically respect that. Um, I think that, when people talk about, I've heard it several times about like going against the machine. I don't
Well, you
necessarily.
help build the machine. Well, you help build the machine.
Well, I don't necessarily feel like it's like I'm going
At least in the
against something,
Southland, you did. You know.
but I definitely am more vocal about accountability in our
Right.
elected officials than most that I see. Even if we talk about something as simple as, oh, this one's a touchy one. So
Go
in
ahead.
2022, we
Hmm.
did a redistricting. That redistricting moved the current senators Flossmoor House into a separate district. And it was a pretty known fact, to be quite honest with you. It was a conversation amongst many state level elected officials. And in that same election cycle, everybody sat silently while he ran for a Thornton Township seat, knowing that
Mm.
you redistrict for his Flossmoor house. So it's
Mm.
accountability like that. Like that should have been the moment for somebody to speak up and say, wait a minute, this isn't right, including
Right.
myself, to be honest with you. And I'm by no means saying that he lives in Flossmoor, because I've said it since day one. I've never been to this man's house, so I can't tell you where he sleeps at night. I do not
We ain't
know.
gonna.
I am. It is
You
not
ain't
my
no creep.
job.
You ain't no midnight creeper. So you ain't trying to check nobody out and all that other
Right.
stuff.
So I can't speak
Yeah.
on that. I'm only speaking on what took part at a state level to redistrict. It was a pretty open conversation in 2020 and 2021. So it's not, something that I'm just assuming like this happened,
Right.
and then everybody sat silently. That's not the kind of accountability that I think, we should have. I think that, stepping up and saying I messed up, just like I did. I know there were residents that felt like I deceived them. I pushed the supervisor hard. I had to convince people to support him. I mean, even to the very end, Nikita, just with everything in here, fighting to get people to believe in this man. I mean, we went all out. It wasn't there. He didn't have people. We had to convince them. And those same people looked at me with disappointment when I decided I had to walk away. They're like, why did you why did you choose this path? But you don't know until you know. And when I figured
Right.
it out, I made adjustments accordingly. The best I can say is that I'm sorry. If I would have known
Well,
this is where we
you
were going to
wasn't.
end up, I
You
would have
didn't do
taken
it.
a
But you
different
didn't
route.
do anything. You didn't do anything deceitful. Let me say this real quick. Wait a minute. Okay, what happened? Okay, let me say this real quick. Okay, in governing and doing what you have to do, there are some give and takes. And in politics and governing, you got to do those things. When it comes down to just mere, I'm not gonna. Now. If you lose, then we still ain't getting nothing from you, or whatever the case may be. There should be, but as committee person, and I know with the committee person, the committeeman, they used to call it committeeman because it was very few women, and you're making history, and we're gonna make history because you're gonna win. But the committeemen wielded power in Illinois politics. If your committeeman says, and usually your committeeman is your alderman or somebody that holds a position in the county or something like that, along when you got the Democratic Party as their standard bearer, And I'm looking at this for what it is because supervisor is supervisor. But when you're talking about politics and the people, the one that can get the votes is the one that's important. Let me ask you this, and I said that to say this. As committee woman for Thornton Township, and all of your municipalities and those that you serve. I know you serve everybody. And you're not really looking at the party, but this is the party that you have given your blood, sweat, and tears to. And they, and I just say, you given your time and you got a right to run and you got a right to run a good campaign like you're doing. But I want to say this, I want to ask this question of you. Let me see. I'll ask this question. And I'm just gonna throw this in. Let me take this off because I don't know. There's somebody there that I don't care for, but that's okay. Them your folks, Stephanie. But I put that's a beautiful picture there. Um, as committee woman, I'm sure you won't be playing these dirty tricks that we've heard that allegedly being done by the current person, and people know how you are. How do you do it? How do you work around it? What would be your goal in this seat to help the Southland and your constituents? How would this help them out? Tell them how you're going to assist them in
Well,
what
it
you're
really
doing.
just connects with our leadership and knowing what people want to see in these seats and making sure that our leadership is invested in our communities and that those resources that they get at any level, at a county level, which is why it's important to have somebody like Kiana there because those resources aren't going to go up north. They're not going to go to
Right,
Orland. They're going to come back
right.
here to our communities where we need it. They're allocating all kinds of money up north. They're allocating all kinds of money. I mean, Orland Park just got a ridiculous amount of money. But where is ours?
Hmm,
Like where do we
good question.
where do we come in, because these communities, although I'm not saying they don't need it, I'm not aware of their needs, but
But the Southland needs
we
money too,
do
a
need
lot
it.
of it.
I know
Yeah,
we need it. We can
infrastructure.
see that we need it. So I think it's important to make sure that, as the committee person, that our leadership reflects what's going to come back to our communities. I think it's
Right.
important, again, voter engagement is huge because without knowing what our residents want to see, how do I know what to support? I'm going to need
That's
people
right.
to come out. People have to be involved. It is a an operation that takes work to accomplish the goals that we want to see, and I can't do that alone. And
You
anybody would
can.
be unrealistic. The current committeeman has been in that seat for 4 years, but the organization itself has less participation than it did the day he took over.
Wow.
You should be talking
All that
about
work.
building. It's about pluses, not minuses. And
Yeah.
as what's being run, what to me feels like a dictatorship. It
Come on
doesn't
with
look
it.
like
Now
that
you come on with it. That's right. Tell the truth.
when you're running an
Listen.
organization. It doesn't look like that. Things may
That's
not
right.
always go the way you want, but when you're servicing a community, it's not about you. and
Right.
and and I think that sometimes the people that are in these seats, their livelihood depends on it. My livelihood doesn't depend on this. I'm going to be
That's
okay
right.
whether I get the seat or not, whether I have the job or not, whether
And you
my
and
focus
you
is the
said the same
residents.
thing when when you were running for trustee. You said the same thing. You look, hey, look, it ain't, and I'm not banking on this. This ain't gonna be no. I'm not here to just sit here in this seat and collect money and everything like it's,
Well, in
like
this
some
in this
people
seat
do.
particularly I'm running for is unpaid. So it really has nothing to do with money. It really is just about wanting to have a say in what our leadership looks like. And this is
Right.
my way to do
Let
that.
let let's make that very clear. There's no salary with this. There's nothing. Now, even though she'll have access to uh, various officials, she has to build her treasury. She has to build her organization, one person at a time, one municipality at a time, and also, in a sense, to get others that are considering coming to vote on the Democratic side, which we've seen a whole lot of that around the country. That we see actual registered Republicans say, "I'm done with what going on, and this party is broke." Even though the Democratic Party has some flat tires sometime, it's not completely broke. Y'all can make it to the service station. The primary is the 17th of March, which will
Mhm.
be the day that I believe you will be committee person. And I know that we're running down, but then will you? Okay, now I want to ask you this since I got you here. This is our dear friend. Will you come back and talk some more and keep us up to date on what's going on there? Because you know I'm gonna call you. You know, I know
Absolutely.
you were a busy woman with the supervisor and things, making them look good. Now it's time. It's your time. I really believe in you. We believe in you here at the McMahon Morning Show. We're gonna run whatever we need to run for you or whatever. We're gonna do the same thing we did for you, and like we helped your counterpart. You okay? Where you go? You went somewhere. She left. Okay, she'll be back. We do support her. This is the Magman Morning Show. Come back if you can. We wanted you to say your greetings to everyone, Stephanie, while you're gone. I don't know what happened there, but that's okay. But listen, we thank her for being here, and I'm going to get back in touch with her. There she is. Okay, let me add you back. There you go, Stephanie. We got you back. Okay, now we're going to wind down, and we're going to give Stephanie an opportunity to speak to the people. We got a little technical thing that was going on here. Don't worry about that. Y'all get the replay. Those of you that have got the replay, go to Stephanie's website and support her. She needs your assistance in doing what she's doing, and she's a woman of her word. Nobody's perfect now; things do happen, but I can say her track record speaks for itself. And we're going to support her when election day come. She's going to be in the big number with everybody else to get a new senator in Illinois, and we're going to get a new senator in Mississippi. We're going to get a new. We guys going to, and we're going to have a new committee person for Thornton Township in the name of Stephanie Wiederman. And we're going to be hollering, screaming, talking about them, everything, and bringing things out. And I want to say to the present committee person, I'm nonpartisan. If you want to come on and talk about what you want to do, I did send an invitation. Now he has never responded back, so I guess he don't want. He don't. I never said anything bad. I hope we continue to treat you well, Stephanie. And I see that you come back every time I ask you to come back. You come, and I really want to thank you for being here and thank you for the friendship that has been forged over these few years that we've been on the air. Y'all been right there. Thank you to Sherry and for introducing me to you. Now you got the floor. Talk to your folks and give your final wrap up on this show. And you got the mic. Go ahead, Steph. Oh yeah, it's going to be a big day. We're going to be. I'll be seeing. Hopefully, we're working on some things for them for our dear friends in the Southland, and from here I'll fill you in on most of those details. Also, Stephanie, going to need your assistance with, but I want to thank you. I want to thank you for your friendship. For one, I want to thank you for being sincere uh, and not being like other folks are. You know, they hold back and they got all that other foolishness that they talk, but you come really straight. And it's a pleasure supporting you because you've always been the type of person that you are now. You shoot straight from the hip, you do what you have to do, and you have put in the work. And on behalf of everybody that has ever listened to us, once again, we support you here at the Magman Morning Show. We endorse you for this race. And I wouldn't. And before the first vote is cast, we with our friend Stephanie. And when they get through talking, I'm gonna talk about them too. But y'all in the Southland, you trustees, we're gonna talk about y'all too. But y'all better get on board. They won't return my phone calls. And Miss Stubbs, you can call me. I ain't never said nothing bad about you. And Miss Avans, you can call me too. And I'd like to know why are y'all just taking this kind of position that y'all taking of being silent of all people, you two ladies. So I just threw that out there. We still on friendly terms, but you got some answering to do. I want to thank you, Stephanie, for coming on our show this morning, taking out time in your schedule. We know that you have some things going on. Will you please keep me up to date on that challenge that's going on the things that are going on? You're welcome back here at any time. Let this be your media home. We're here for you, and you know we support you. And I want to thank you for coming once again. Listen, that's our special guest, Stephanie Wiederman, who will be the next committee woman of Thornton Township. Yes, she will. All of the municipalities, she'll be representing us, and she's going to do a great job at it. Thank you all for being patient with us on this morning as we got through the gremlins and everything. But this is the Magman Morning Show. Y'all know every weekday morning for the last 2 years at 9 a.m. Central Standard Time and 10 o'clock, not 11. Y'all really be late. 10 o'clock on the East Coast, Mag Media 3 Productions, WKRA, WRFU, and everybody else that's listening around the country. Y'all, thank y'all for being with us. Thank you again, Stephanie, for being here. Give my love to your family and everything. How's your grandbaby? You got grandbaby. Did you get a new grandbaby? hmm You send me the picture so I can put them in next time. All right, Grandma. Watch out, Grandma. Watch out. You ain't no grandma. You ain't there ain't no grandma. You and Nikita. You and Grandma. You and Nikita and them got grandchildren and everything. That's all right. Dr. Nikita, hey to you. And I wanted to just say hey to you. You know, she has I want to say this before you go. Dr. Nikita, our dear friend. Have you been to Cloud Med yet, Stephanie? You know I got to go over there and see her. Okay, you go over there. You know I'm got to say hi to my friend there. She didn't think I was gonna put this up though, but I had to put it up. That's our friend, Dr. Nikita. Boy, you talking about somebody that's really a warrior with Sherry and with Stephanie. Man, I tell you, that's a heck of a combination. They are real friends in real life. They don't believe that. They ain't real friends. They are real sisters in the struggle together. Y'all watch Nikita. She down there laughing. Y'all got to watch her now, but y'all better watch Sherry. All of her. But I want to thank you for being our friend. Thank you for coming on and giving us this opportunity. Stephanie, it's been wonderful. Thank you all for being here. This is the Magman Morning Show. We'll see you on tomorrow. And if it's 9 o'clock Central Standard Time, anywhere you know in the weekday, it's the Magman Morning Show. Thank y'all for being on. We'll see you on tomorrow. Don't forget, on Friday, we got another interview with our business spotlight that we have. Also on Thursday, don't forget that we got Priscilla Till is coming, the next senator from the state of Mississippi. She got something to tell you. I almost told it, and you know I had to hold on and wait. But we're gonna want y'all to tune in. It's going to be out there, and I'll make the announcement and everything. But thank you all for being here. We're getting ready to get out of here. Thank you for tuning in. This is the Magman Morning Show. Brother Lee will be back with us tomorrow. And we're just grateful for you all being here. Thank you once again to Stephanie Wiederman and all of you all that are here. Once you get yourselves together, we got a lot of news and information coming your way. We're watching the news wires for some information that's coming in that y'all going to want to hear about. So we getting ready to get out of here. Thank you for everything. And remember our affirmation. You don't have to be jealous of nobody. All you have to do is sit back, because once God gets through blessing them, he's got more than enough to bless you. Y'all have a wonderful day. This is the McMahon Morning Show.
It's the Mac Morning Show. It's the Mac Morning Show. It's the Mac Morning Show. It's the Mac Morning Show. Sitting at home when you're in your car. It's the Mac Morning Show. No matter if you get far. It's the Mac Morning Show. You better tune in quick or you might just miss. It's the Mac Morning Show. The best show this side of the sea. It's the Mac Madman Morning Show. It's the 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 Madman Morning Show.